I'm trying very hard to think of a haiku. I just want to do one more, you know?
Yeah.
So let's make a haiku. Here we go. I guess it's over. I had a wonderful time. I loaf all you guys.
I love you too, Sean.
I love how he pretends to be cured and then the rain melts away his fake skin and shows himself.
Imagine getting destroyed by rain twice in the same episode.
Oh my god!
That's embarrassing.
Twice in 2 seconds. They understood entering this final episode that they had 50 minutes to solve everything. So, they decided, we will not solve everything.
Yes.
We will focus on making this a heartfelt finale. We'll feature Luz, Ida, and King front and center, the main characters of the show. It will be about them, their relationship, and them defeating Belos and the Collector. And that's what the season finale is about, and that's why it works, because it doesn't try to do too much.
Goodbye.
Okay, welcome. I would just like to thank anyone who has tuned in to any of these podcasts. I'm sure, probably people just tune in to, whenever a good episode comes out and they search for it and then we're in the search results and they watch it, because that's what I do too. But I appreciate that anybody has tuned into this, because this was kind of this is something I had always wanted to do, but I have kind of never had friends who watch stuff that I watch. So I'm also grateful to the 3 other fellow people on this podcast who, Chan sort of came up with the idea to do this show in the first place. So special thanks to him.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a genius.
Thanks to you guys for helping with editing and promotion and just watching it with me, because I think we succeeded in what I hoped we would do, which is just we would just watch it and then hang out and talk about it. We weren't, aside from coming up with a rating number, we never were forcing ourselves to have some sort of opinion or anything. We were genuinely just hanging out, and that's all I wanted to do. And it's really special to me that we were able to do that, for however many episodes this is. So
how long was it?
I don't know, maybe
are we
40-ish?
talking multiple years? No, I'm talking about in terms of time.
Yeah, it's just... Okay.
43 episodes.
In terms of time, I think it started in 2020.
When did we start?
Yeah.
Was it 2020?
I think 2020.
We started recording in the summer of 2020.
Yeah, okay.
So it's almost 3 years later. Isn't that insane?
That's crazy. I refuse to believe that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's true. The Owl House podcast season 1 takes place between our BMO episode recording and our Obsidian episode recording.
That's insane.
That's insane. It really doesn't feel like that it's been that long.
Because we made it a common thing. We've
Yeah.
been following the Owl House this entire time, and now it's finally ended.
I know, and that's just what I'm saying. Is I'm so glad we were able to do that, because I've never done that with other people. So it was really fun.
I'm really glad as well. I've been a cartoon fan for a long time. I've been following some shows religiously since 2012 with Adventure Time, and I never really got to participate in a podcast like this with my friends from the fandom. So it's been great discovering a completely new show this way and reviewing it each step of the way.
What's funny is when Adventure Time was airing, obviously I'm very passionate about that show. Obviously still was back then, and a new episode would air, and I if it was a really good one, I had nowhere to put my energy. I had my Tumblr page,
Yeah.
and I would definitely speak in capital letters, but I was oh my god, I need to process this with people, but it kind of it was hard because it's intimidating. I made some fandom friends, but this is it's really special to watch something and take it all in and then immediately just be with your friends and be able to discuss it. It's really special, and I appreciate you guys. I had so much fun, honestly.
Because I would usually watch stuff with my brother, but then at a point, when we were getting older, we sort of stopped liking the same stuff And then, like, I was never very active on Tumblr, or at least I never got to notice, but I would always tune into the hashtags and stuff when there was stuff to talk about and to look at. But, like, over time, I've started to like anime a lot more. So I was kind of falling out of cartoons right when Adventure Time had ended. So, like, Owl House wrote me back in.
We saved you, bro.
Yeah. But now it's over. Now I don't know what to do. But we can worry about that later.
with anime as well, the fandom, like, okay, we've had some cartoons with very hostile fandoms, right? And this is probably one of them. But
of course you gotta say that at the beginning of the damn episode.
Okay, but okay, so basically I'm intimidated by the Owl House fandom, so I've never engaged because I've been a bit worried about doing so. But it's a lot friendlier and it's a lot more open and welcoming and inclusive than fucking anime fandom will ever be. I'm sorry, Nick.
No, I know, but I've never really engaged with anime fandom either. But that's a whole other thing.
But yeah, when it comes to fandom, it's been so nice to like just hop in place to place, meet new people in any community. And the Owl House fandom, I want you to recognise that even if your fandom disappears from the face of the planet or seems to have done so after a few months, it's still going to be there. Like, you're still going to all have memories of watching this show and enjoying it. And in maybe 10 years' time, you'll start messaging each other again and you'll be like, hey, you were my friend back when we were doing the Owl House, when we were watching the Owl House together. How have you been doing? And then you'll get into all sorts of wacky things.
Oh yeah,
together.
when they go on HBO Max, when they reboot it, you guys will be in.
Yeah, with Owl House Distant Lands.
You guys can make the Owl House reboot when they eventually decide to reboot the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's really sweet of you to say, Tipsy.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of how we all started talking on Discord, really. It wasn't until after Adventure Time was over.
Yeah, it wasn't until the show had ended and everyone was sort of like trying to stick together. And then I was invited into Chan's Discord, and Tulip asked if we wanted to make a game podcast together for the second video game. And I said no at first. But I eventually
I also said no.
Yeah, we said no, and then we went back and said, hey, no, actually, I think I'd like to try something different and participate in something risky and fun.
Yeah, that's right. The beginning of that series was just me and Nick.
Yeah.
And that was like... honestly, I don't recommend going back to watch those videos. They're kind of awkward, because that was when you and me were like first starting to get to know each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and also we had that really weird thing of we had to record a new one every 20 minutes because your recording software was really bad, Tulip, and your microphone.
And also...
And I was speaking from like an Xbox mic as well, so it wasn't great.
Also, it took like 43 episodes to kill a boss.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyway.
Anyways, okay, to rope us back into Owl House, I was going to say, going off of what Tipsy said about fandom stuff, like, I was just at a convention, I was just at Anime Boston, lots of Owl House stuff everywhere, like, lots of people at Artist Alley doing it, lots of cosplays, super nice, and I also so, like, it's cool to see that the fandom is thriving, even though I personally haven't specifically engaged in it, aside from making these videos, I guess. But also, like, to a lot of people, it's, like, so interesting to think about how, to a lot of people, the Owl House is, like, their Adventure Time. Like, they're in that same sort of age that I was, or we were. We're all sort of different ages, but, like, the same sort of place in their life when, like, another show came out for us, this show is coming out for them. So I do just want to say that I'm very jealous that they got a much more interesting finale than Gravity Falls did.
I was thinking that the entire way through. I was like, sorry, Nick, I'm going to have to tell you at some point in this podcast that this finale blows Gravity Falls out of the water.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does.
No, but it's true what Tipsy said. Like, it's really tough to, like, lose something like this, because, like, when Adventure Time ended, like, it's fucking devastating, but it's also something that's really hard to be taken seriously by, like, people that aren't, you know, in the fandom or understand it. It's like, you're, like, really sad about it. They're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, my TV show ended. And it's like, everyone's like, okay, but, like, it really does live on through you. And it's important to remember that, like, what it did for you, and to carry that with you, and then also just hope that there's a reboot and it's good.
I think, like, these finales, like, unless it's a show that just got canceled, like, the sort of big finales for these more recent shows, like Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, Owl House, Star vs. Evil, maybe, like, they do try to give, like, a really good catharsis in the ending. Like, you're sad that it's gone, but, like, it's gone and it went out. Like, you got to experience the story actually ending. You don't have to sit there and, like, feel upset that they did something stupid with the ending, except for Star vs. Evil, I guess. So people think that. But just the way this episode had, like, it had that whole epilogue that went on for, like, 10 minutes or so. Like, it had so much, like, that awesome animation that the show occasionally has. Like, they really honed in on being like, this is the finale. You know, it had me getting emotional, it had me smiling, being like, this is so badass. Like, this is the absolute right thing to do to deliver some, like, catharsis for a finale.
Mm-hmm. One thing I want to say, I think I've mentioned this before on this podcast, but I watched, like, all of Amphibia during the, like, last hiatus before the show, you know, did its final run and then ended. And at the time that felt like, oh, cool, you know, I timed this perfectly, I can see the end. And I did, and that was a lot of fun, but it was also just gone so quickly. Whereas with this podcast, you know, of course, I was watching Owl House from the beginning anyway, like weekly episodes and all that back when they were doing that. But especially with this podcast, I feel like I had a much more whole experience, and like I'm really, you know, participating in the moment, and I really like that. Thank you, guys.
I just randomly got a message from my friend Mike, said their significant other was just crying about how perfect Hunter's ending was. My friend Mike does not watch The Owl House. That's just a funny coincidence that they just messaged me about that.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet. Tell Mike that's sweet, and also that's in the podcast.
Yeah, well, I'll link him the timestamp and be like, here's your cameo. Like, all 32
It's 11:30.
people know your name.
It's like 11 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So this episode was great. Do you want to start talking about it?
Yeah. Let's start. I have to say right off the bat, the pacing was so fucking good. Like, I was... Like, I think you said it was an hour, like 45 minutes or something. I had no idea
it was like 53 minutes.
I had no idea how long that was, but, like, I was just like, I don't care how long this is, because, like, this is the exact length I would want it to be based on... Like, it just, like, was so good. I was just...
Because, like I was just saying, when they got into the epilogue stuff, and it just kept going, and I was like, no way. Like, no other show has given us this much, like, look into the future stuff. This is so sweet. Like, they really knew how to time it out. I think my like, if we, like, just to get it out of the way, I think some of the writing within the first maybe 10 minutes of the episode was, like, pretty not that good. But the pacing was good. Like, everything else was good. I just think some of the dialogue came out really, really blatantly. But afterwards, like, once it got into Bellows being more involved and stuff, it was, like, great.
I'm sure some of that stuff is just because of that they had to rush everything to fit it into a 1 hour long episode.
They had
and
to,
I would have had a little more time to breathe.
Sort of recap it a little. Like, it's kind of reminding you of character scenarios and stuff. So it's, like, fine.
My initial impression of the opening scene is, like, so when I was watching it, and I saw that it was Luz thinking she's as bad as Bellows when I was watching it the other day, I was like, no, we've been through this. You're not as bad as Bellows. Why are we wasting any more time on this plot point? We've got to move on and get on with the episode. I was frustrated. I was like, I wasn't that interested. But then it got to the point where she realised that it wasn't the real Amity, and it was so funny how she realised that. Like, she didn't go, oh, the real Amity would never tell me this. No, she just went, the real Amity would never misquote the Good Witch Azura.
Mm-hmm.
And then we forget about that for a while. And the reason that the opening scene isn't as frustrating to me on rewatch as it was for that first impression is because of the ending, I might say. Because of how it wraps around back to the end. It reminds us how guilty Luz feels because she messed up. And then we get a scene with King's dad later on. He says, no, you're fucking... You're not remotely similar.
Yeah, which the
And then-
subtitles like spoiled a little bit. At the
Papa
very beginning.
Titan, lose! You have to rake up! Thanks. Thanks, Disney. So yeah, we got spoiled by the subtitles too. I'm sure most of you were.
I watched this
and-
episode yesterday, and I did not have the subtitles on, so I had the purest experience, I guess.
Yeah, I had the subtitles on until they had that line. Then I turned them off. But yeah, so yeah, the opening scene a bit like weird, especially with all the characters just saying what Luz has to do. But it makes sense. They need to remind us what's going on, and they need to set up the new scenario that we have to deal with immediately, so that they can move on to what they actually want to do.
I think it's really interesting how like it starts off like a frame after the other episode ends, like which kind of seems weird, like what like Chan was saying, like why is this thumbnail spoiling it? But it's like no, it's literally just starting immediately after the other episode. Like if you stitch them together, it would be seamless.
Yeah, that was a little bit confusing for me too, because I was, obviously when it starts moving and then it stops moving because it fades to black and everyone starts dreaming, then it makes sense. It's like, oh yeah, this is just picking up right where it left off, basically. But I didn't remember exactly the moment the last episode left off on. It's been a little while,
I was gonna say it's funny that it started with a nightmare. I was like, man, what is it with shows I like when their finales having big nightmares?
Yes.
That I'm like,
Oh
Yes.
my
come
god!
on, move on,
every
please.
time.
I actually didn't mind the nightmare sequences because I thought, I don't know, it was obviously a good reminder, but it was like,
This is par for the course for
Oh,
the
yeah.
TV show we like at this stage.
Yeah, well, they absolutely did not overstay their welcome. The title of this episode is Watching and Dreaming, but the dreaming, wasn't that big a part of it.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we've called it Watching and Dreaming, so we need a dream. Also, it's a series finale, so we need a dream. Anyway, here's the dream, and now you can watch the characters waking up and being really happy to see each other.
I thought it was nice to explore the guilt that Luz felt. Like, I know we've already explored that, but like, to the level that they did, like, kind of being like, why do you get to have a talisman, or like, why do you get to be happy? Like, we're doing all this stuff for you, and other people are getting hurt for it, and it's like, oh, that's interesting to mention. Like, it's
The Hunter one was actually like slightly heart shattering.
Yeah.
Because he's such a sad little meow meow, So like he even lost his talisman. He's kind of correct. Luz has all these friends, and the Hunter's got this really shit life, and he's lost his talisman. But that's why. But then the real Hunter just doesn't really care. He's like, yeah, Luz, you're my best friend. And everyone else is like, ugh, we're being puppeted by the Collector. I don't know how they figured it out, but I
Yeah.
guess they know. I guess they're able to know.
So something that I didn't necessarily clock until this time, my second time watching the episode, when all of Luz's friends are like, insulting her in the dream and everything, I think that's not the Collector doing that. I think it's Bellows.
Yeah.
Because when they try to like attack her, then the Collector's like strings are what's holding them back from actually hurting her, because the Collector just wants to be friends with her.
Oh, that's interesting. Like, do you think the Collector doesn't actually want to hurt Luz and just wants the dream to be? Yeah, because the Collector.
And the Collector was then
woke up-
complaining to Bellows, possessing
King's gonna
Rain's
hate me.
body. Yeah, saying like, why are we doing this?
like hoping that okay, so something I remembered whilst watching the episode is that in the previous app, the Collector thought the king was trying to kill him. They had that whole misunderstanding, do you remember? And it was kind of forgotten in this
oh yeah,
one.
it was like
was
he'll
brushed
bathe the
aside.
world in fire, or was that about the Collector? I can't remember.
No,
Oh, that was about the
like
Collector. Never mind.
we need to kill him.
Oh yeah!
Gladness.
Oh my god!
Something like that. We need to silence him permanently with friendship.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. I mean, I guess he just turned him into a toy, right?
He just
But
turned him into
clearly
a toy
the
and
Collector
got over
doesn't
it.
understand death, so maybe they just didn't register that as a threat.
That's why
Oh my
I'm
God.
confused about if that was Bellows controlling them and the Collector stopped Bellows because he doesn't want them to like get hurt. If he doesn't understand
Okay.
death and stuff, then why would he
Um,
care about them fighting?
If it's either way, there's some mind reading going on. So it's possible that the Collector just made a nightmare that's, have nightmares about your worst fears. It's not got any specificity to, this is Luz's worst fear. It's believable. It is also believable that Belos set it all up, but, he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. But with King and Ida's dreams, there's no way that Belos or the Collector would know what they're on about.
Yeah, I mean, I just assumed the nightmares were made by the people that were being controlled. They're just put into a nightmare state and then went wild. Or something.
Yeah, they're just we're evil now.
There's so much. I'm just trying to remember in order.
I actually have the episode pulled up, but I'm kind of scrubbing through it scene by scene because that's the best way I think I'm going to have to remember what to say.
I have a dumb question. What was stopping Belos from just taking over the heart in the first place? Throughout the series.
Didn't think of it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Was his end goal to control everyone, and taking over the heart was last ditch? This is the only way I'm gonna get any sort of control.
He still wanted to destroy all magic originally, so maybe controlling the Titan didn't work into that. Now he's just kind of obsessed with killing everyone.
Yeah,
I think he kind of had a different goal before.
Yeah.
He only chose to do it once he realized that the Titan would be strong enough to kill the Collector. Maybe Belos was holding on to his humanity before by eating the palismans, do you recall?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to remain human. But he gave up on his humanity at the end of the show.
I think that makes sense because he probably couldn't assimilate with the Titan heart while he was still part human too. So when you're a pile of goop, I guess the only way forward is into the Titan's heart because that's it. You're done. And he's they said he's obsessed with control. That's the last chance he had.
Can I just commend Rain for being such a badass?
Yeah.
I think originally I thought that Belos removed the spell, but no. Rain just willpowered their way out of being mind controlled by the Collector, and then willpowered their way out of being mind controlled by Belos.
I'm trying not to be too obsessive over the order in which we talk about things, but did Rain have permanent crying scars on their face at the end?
Yep.
Oh my god! I'm stupid. Did they have Oh, it's because they cried out the bellow scoop. Oh,
yeah.
I was when did they get those again? Oh wow! So it was acid goop. Yikes!
Yeah. Again, I'm just seeing that now, looking through the screenshots.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also, did they? It's been so long since we've seen the other episodes, so I don't remember. Was whistling? Because in this episode, Rain a couple times did whistling to do magic because they're in the Bard Coven, and that's just really, really cool.
Yeah, they did. Remember they did that in their I don't know if it was their first episode, but on the flashback episode, they whistled into the drinks to make them have magic.
Yeah, that's true. But it wasn't like this, and this one was moody.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Also, them smashing their... I think they smashed their instrument as, a last-ditch effort to try to block Belos. I was no! Don't smash the instrument! You went too far!
Yeah, because if you can, master, bard magic, and then you can just sing and make magic happen, that's, you got so much control over
Imagine
it.
if
More
Rain,
so than I feel a lot of other people do.
Imagine if Rain was at the gym on a treadmill, just casually listening to a song, starts whistling, and then all of a sudden turns around and the entire gym is blowing up. I'm sorry, I was listening to a really intense song.
Speaking of songs, really good music.
Oh my god!
Really,
I
really
can't.
good.
The entire thing had outstanding music. You had the Owl House theme popping in, the end credits theme.
Yeah, the
remixed
end credits theme too, and remixed themes. Oh my god! And just I'm trying not to skip ahead too much, but again.
Okay. Can we talk about the Collector's backstory?
So
yeah, that was something that's something that had me thinking about the previous episode and how it's I think at least me what his actual story was in this episode. I feel it wasn't insinuated at all previously, and I think what it is actually really interesting. but like especially in episode 2 of season 3, he was just like a goofy evil kid. So like now that they're like no, he wants to like he genuinely just doesn't understand what to do. Like that is very interesting, and I feel like that wasn't really insinuated well.
As usual, talk me through this about what exactly happened. So he or they.
So the arc. Oh yeah, I'll mention that quickly. In this episode in particular, it seems like they only use they them pronouns for the collector, but up until now they've definitely said he. So I don't know.
They used
they,
he and they.
they.
They used he as well. They used he and they pronouns. Both of them.
Yeah.
So they were with a bunch of the archivists, right? Is that
the archivists? Their siblings said, "Hey, go play with the Titans," which seems to me like
trying to
they
get
were
rid
just trying to kill him.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of them, but then they just.
But then they don't, because then they kill the Titans to protect him.
No, I think what it was is they were trying to get rid of them, but then they were just kind of like chilling with the Titans, and they were like, "Oh shit, they're gonna be really powerful if they've got the Titans on their side. Let's get rid of the Titans." Is that like the implication there? Like they were just trying to kill them, and then it didn't work, and then they got worried about
that
the Collector having Titans magic?
If the archivists cared about protecting the Collector from danger, why are they just gone now? You know,
I don't think I don't think they care about protecting them at all. Like that's just, like I think they really were just like, okay, die on that planet, and then it didn't work, and they were like,
yeah. It's like Invader Zim. But no, I mean I think the archivists like they wanted the Titans gone because they knew the Titans could defeat them. So they just like sent Collector there and then waited a little bit to go try to kill the Titans for whatever reason. Like I don't know.
They imprisoned the Collector, right? The archivists?
The Titans imprisoned the Collector because
the Titans did.
Yeah, because the Titans thought the Collector was with the evil
specifically King's dad did that.
King's dad, because the others died, and then they were like, "Hey, what'd you do?" And then the Collector's like, "Huh? Okay." This is why we recap, because it's like too much information. Okay, and then the Collector had a grudge against the Titans because of that, or
no. The Collector. There were no more Titans after that.
Yeah.
But the Collector found King.
Yeah.
He said, "I found King all by myself,
right.
and I became friends with him."
Right. So the Collector still had a grudge against the archivists.
The Collector likes the Titans, but the archivists turned the Titans against the Collector by like killing them.
The archivists sure are mysterious.
Because we never. Yeah. So this show, I believe they understood entering this final episode, like. Disregarding the immediate previous episode, they understood entering this final episode that they had 50 minutes to solve everything. So, they decided, we will not solve everything.
Yeah.
We will focus on making this a heartfelt finale. We'll feature Luz, Ida, and King front and center, the main characters of the show. It will be about them, their relationship, and them defeating Belos and the Collector. And that's what the season finale is about, and that's why it works, because it doesn't try to do too much.
Well, here's how I feel, is that they didn't... I don't feel annoyed that, like, out of anything that they left out. I'm like, it's almost better to me, like, them being so mysterious. It's like... I don't know, like, I'm like, it'd be cool to know more, but at the same time, I have enough information that it's satisfying.
I think I still have one lingering question, which maybe was answered somehow, we just never picked up on it. But, like, how did Ida get the door to the human world in the first place?
Yeah, I was thinking
that is still a really strange thing that I wish
wasn't it left in
answered.
the dirt? And then
maybe it was answered subtly or something, and we just don't know.
It probably belonged...
But
it probably belonged to Evelyn, the original witch, who was implied to be, like, mildly implied to be Ida's ancestor, potentially, but has a similar name to her,
it's like, it's ultimately kind of irrelevant now, with what goes on in the plot.
That's funny, I forgot about that.
And I mean, whatever, they do whatever somehow to just build a permanent door again, too, so it's
the
like...
Collector, the Collector made it. It's
okay, that's what I assumed, But it's like... that's just a question that has been there since like day one of the show.
I love that the Collector made a door for them. It's really cute.
Also, I'm going to move on from talking about the Collector and Archivist, but just one last thing on that. So we definitely determined that the archivists were trying to get rid of the collector, but the way they were shown, they appear to be adults compared to the collector being a child. So it's like, hey, let's kill this kid. It's annoying.
Hey, that's how aliens
our younger
are.
brother sucks. Let's kill him.
Space aliens are always crazy like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they're anything like the collector, that makes perfect sense.
I feel conditioned by finales at this point. I don't know why, but I feel conditioned that I was expecting, like, Luce to, like, go through a time portal and then give Ida the like, put the door suitcase in the soil and be like, I'll see you soon, Ida, or something like that. I mean, I'm glad they didn't. At the same time, somehow, if they did, I'd still be like, wow, I'm satisfied. Like that. But anyway. I don't know, time loop stuff is fun.
Well, we're not done talking about the collector, but we're done talking about the archivists, I suppose. So, the second phase of the episode, after King Luz and Ida wake up, the collector is really confused. He's like, why don't you like my games? Because you hurt people. And also, because you nearly killed everybody on the Day of Unity. And the collector's like, well, that's fine. I mean, if they broke, I'd just repair them. And he shows a toy of himself that he breaks and repairs. Yeah. And Luz is like, do you not understand what death means for mortals?
You know what surprised me was that I didn't expect them to make me feel much sympathy for the collector, because I was like, okay, it's kind of obvious what's going on. They're going to be like, I just don't understand. I thought I was playing games, but I'm hurting people. But I was like, dang, I feel a lot of sympathy for the collector in this episode.
They made them really cute. Like
because they did, like, one of the most heartbreaking things is just watching this little boy learn about death. And also, it's his fault.
I mean, I agree, but I thought you were going to say something different, because this specific thing hit me hard, which was, they were like, you just need to show people compassion, forgiveness.
Yes.
And then the collector's like, you know what, you're right, I'm going to go try that out.
Yeah.
On the worst possible person that he could.
The collector just, like, wants to be friends with everyone, so, you know, Luz and Co. just teaching him, like, how people act, and he's like, I get it.
I get that from, like, a person's standpoint, when you're trying so hard to break a pattern, and you're like, I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna change my behavior, and you just pick someone who destroys you. It makes you not want to like be like, this is like, you're so uncomfortable and you're like, I'm gonna go out of my comfort zone and do this thing, then the person just yells at you and you're like, alright, I'm never gonna be nice again. Like, you know what I mean?
And
yeah, that poor boy got brutalized. He came here for a good time, learned about friendship and love, was finally made a friend, got her killed, and then started dying.
And, well, I think... Also, one thing I really like about that moment with the collector and Bella is that it, like, doesn't backfire, because I feel like it would be a very easy writing thing, maybe in another show or something, where that would happen to the collector, and then they would be like, well, you know, forgiveness doesn't work, time to be evil again.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god,
that's not what happened at all.
I respected how confused that they were, I really do, and I related to it. Like,
with my usual interest in subversions, I was kind of hoping that that Luz didn't protect him and like he just actually died right there. Like that would have been so funny to me if he tried to show compassion.
Did you say a child dying would be so funny to you?
Yes, it would be. Okay, it's a cartoon.
I'm just kidding.
Nick, what the heck? Nick, why? What is wrong with you?
There's like... Okay, so this, I mean, it worked really well in the show. I am always, like, side-eyeing when a main character dies in quotations and then comes back heroically, but, like, man, this was awesome. Like...
Yeah, so, I have a lot of questions about the mechanics of this, but just as a spectacle to watch it is perfect.
Well, let's discuss the mechanics really fast. Like, what are you confused about?
The gold dust. Why did she turn into gold dust and end up in the portal world?
Yeah. Why did she turn into lights and then go to the portal world? And why was the Titan in the portal world when he's also still alive, kind of, in the real world?
I think he's between... You know, it's funny, because anything I can explain to you, I'm just like, yeah, that's Titan magic. It's just, like, a very convenient excuse. But, like, I mean, Luce's thing... I mean, you're right.
Oh, do you think the Titan was trapped in the portal world because he had to do that to also trap the collector in there? Because that is where the collector was for a long time.
I
go
think
with
the
that.
Titan chose. I think the Titan is magic. He most likely chose to remain there in the portal world. It's also because his heart was still beating. He was stuck between the middle of life and death, and so was Luz.
Isn't it implied that that's purgatory by definition? Like, between life and death, like this place where you are, you're judged or whatever you want to call it. And then it's like,
Yeah.
if the Titan's stuck between life and death, then it would make sense that he's stuck in that world. But also, like, he's not sinking because he still wants to look after King, which, by the way, his Hootie eye... Oh my god, the implications!
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Yeah, right? That's another thing, because we were wondering about Hootie's origin also for a long time, and we didn't get anything except for maybe an implication.
I think that eye is literally Hootie.
Yeah.
I think it's a literal representation of Hootie.
Is that like the other end of Hootie?
I think...
Oh my god.
I mean, he's just been watching... You know what? This finally answers the age-old question of who the fuck is taking all these pictures, these Polaroids. Who's doing it? It's him! Yeah, like...
Okay, no. Those Polaroids could have been from her memory thing. I realized that.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
They could pull from memory.
That's true. But yeah, like, I think that's the reason why he was there is because, like, it's like the unfinished business thing. Like, Luce was sinking, but he's like, no, don't do that. Like, you have this thing to do, and...
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We solved it.
I'll just say, when that little moment of King's dad saying, like, he's been watching King and, like, it shows King being happy with everyone, that made me the most emotional of everything in this episode. I started crying at that.
I did my patented Chan almost cry, like, 5 times in this episode.
Also, like,
I loaf you.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention, also, King's dad's voice is really good.
Yeah.
It is.
Like, we don't... Because he's in it. He's in this
or
episode for so little time, but it just does such an effective job of communicating, like, the kind of guy he is.
But also, they knew exactly what they were doing, giving him a dad gut. They knew it.
Yeah.
It was exactly the right shape. They knew.
Can I point out that he says, I am the king and the queen, but dad works.
Yeah.
Also, the Bad Boy Coven shirt.
Oh my god.
So cute.
Okay, hang on. Do you guys know who voices him? Do you know who fucking voices King's dad?
No, who?
It's fucking Aaron Hansen, Eagle Raptor.
Oh my god.
Is it? Oh my god, I did not know that.
I knew it sounded weirdly familiar, but that is not what I expected.
Damn.
What are they famous for? I don't know them.
He's Game Grumps.
The Game Grumps.
Oh.
I mean, I knew him as an animator before Game Grumps.
Didn't they do a lot of voice work before this, though?
Yeah, he's been in stuff.
Has he done anything Tipsy might know? Any characters? Okay.
He was a lot in, like, Mighty Magiswords, I think.
Tipsy, he's SpongeBob. Now you know.
Oh, wow,
wrong.
He's Tom Kenny.
Yeah, he also voiced the Ice King. He also voiced Finn and Jake. He's pretty good.
Thanks, John.
He's Wellesley Wizard and Bean Puppy Cat.
Wow, all of our favorite characters. Yeah, but
I
okay.
can't even remember which wizard that is.
No, I finally can mention this because as soon as I saw it, my brain went back in time. The cursed body swapped episode that Tipsy liked happened, and Luce had a fang because Luce was king.
Yes!
The fang was brought back, and I immediately was like, "It's the fang!" I know it's not the fang, but like I thought the fang was really cute, and I was like, "People are gonna like that fang," and there it was.
Okay, I've got another question.
Okay.
I think the answer to this is no, in which case we should come up with one. Does Luce's powered-up form have a name?
No.
Titan
But
Luz.
we call her Titan Luz. We call her Titan Luz.
Who's we?
Okay, that's
like
good.
The
I like
Phantom?
Titan Luz.
Or like just us?
Because her hat looks like King's tail. She has a fang like King. She has the claws.
Yeah, it's the
and
Titan's
feet.
power. So
I mean, it makes
Titan Luz
sense.
works. I'm just like, it's cool. I love it. I don't understand how it works. Why did giving her those powers bring her back into the real world? But it's cool, you know?
I think he gave her like a bit of his life, like the Supreme Kai in Dragon Ball Z. He's just able to do that because he's magic.
Like, honestly, it's cool enough to me that I don't care about all these questions. Like, I do think about them, but I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Did he die? Like, was the implication it was the last of his life force?
Yes, because Luz couldn't do magic anymore.
This is why we
the
talk
ghost
about these
disappeared.
things. I literally forget within 5 minutes.
So he died. However, King was alive. I don't know if that means the Titan's heart still beats, but somehow that means that there's magic on the Boiling Isles again.
That is interesting to think about, because you think the magic comes from the fact that it is made of a big Titan, but it's like the fact that King exists somehow brings magic back, and it's like, it doesn't, that the heart is definitely not beating anymore.
I don't know, though, because we only saw King do the glyph magic.
You're saying maybe only King can do it, is what you're
only
saying.
King can do it, I think.
That makes
or
more
maybe
sense,
you can do it if you're, like, standing next to King.
Well, that'd be...
No, it's implied that Luz can do it because they say that she has a whole new Titan language to learn.
Yeah, she's gonna learn it, but, she's gonna be standing next to King when she does it.
No, I think she can do it. I think King brings magic back to the Boiling Isles. Like he has a big radius, that's what you're saying.
He has a 20-yard radius. It's pretty big.
You can only perform magic within 200 meters of King.
Oh my god. Okay, I was going to literally mention, like, the end of the episode. We're going to go in chronological order. It's the only way. There's too much, okay?
I mean, I just want to talk about how cool all the fight scene stuff
Yes.
was. Like,
Yes.
they went so hard. Like, it was like anime, Legend of Zelda, Kirby finale.
It's like the very definition of me
insane.
screaming, like, yes, at my TV, because, like...
Yeah, so since we've given up and we're just screaming about the episode now, could I just mention when Luz dies and the collector's like, where'd she go? Bring her back. Why isn't she coming back? Ida, do you know where she went? And Ida's like, stand back, kid. I don't know if I can control myself right now.
Yeah.
And she turns into Mega Harpy form.
And King also
Mega
had a
Owl
feral
form.
mode.
And King turns into feral mode, and you see them together in their absolute feral forms. Everyone's turning into feral monsters this episode. It's
I need
awesome.
help with one more thing. I don't remember why Ida lost her arm.
She had the sigil on her arm for one of the things. Like, she replaced
and
Rain.
then she took her arm off.
Shapeshifted into Rain.
Right.
Yeah, and Rain removed Ida's arm to save her life.
And then they just threw it in the trash disposal, or like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
Okay, now that makes...
It evaporated. It got incinerated.
I was going to say, couldn't she take her arm off and on, but then that makes more sense. I remember now. It's been a while, I'm sorry. But yeah, like, seeing, like, I don't know, just everything the show introduced, like, King's powers, Ida's, harpy form, and then, like, even when Luz was superpowered and, like, couldn't exactly get a spell right, and then Ida was like, focus and do this, and it's like call back to her being her mentor, and then her using King's thing. I'm like, oh my god, it's like destroying me. Just such a good utilization of concepts that were introduced. It's so satisfying,
Yeah, and when Luz is in Titan mode, she casts magic like witches do. Just from her heart.
Oh yeah.
And she doesn't know how to do it, so Ida helps her.
Yeah. The show's so good, you guys.
She's like, concentrate, think what you... And Ida's like, want and do it.
And I'm like, obviously, very upset that it's over, but I'm not closing thoughts or anything, but I have to say, I'm almost like, this finale was so good, I'm happy it ended where it did, because it's like, damn, like, this could just be an amazing thing that was, like, short and sweet and really satisfying, and then if they brought it back, it's like, who knows, maybe it would have been drawn out or something.
The action scenes in this one are at their very best. Like, in previous episodes, when we've had an action scene, it's always like, oh, there we go, it's action scene time. I think my favourite action scene is still Hunter versus Amity in that one episode.
I have to rewatch Eclipse Lake, because, again, I watched it in 12 parts on YouTube.
yeah.
But for this one, it really, like... It wasn't super fast or anything, like it had some really good action. One thing that comes to mind is Luz ripping Belos out of the Titan's body.
What a, visceral way to communicate that she's basically killing this guy without having it be, too graphic for a kid's show, but it still feels like it.
And, her, clearly being unable to do it on her own, just having her friends all there, just, stopping every, thing that Belos would do, and it's just, they need each other, and this is...
They do, and Luz has a bunch of friends, and Belos has nobody because he's a bitch.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I just feel like the step up in animation that's here, it's so... It's so movie quality.
in other episodes, they did that kind of thing for like one scene, like in scenes that deserve it, like the Lumity dance scene, for example. But in this one, it's like every important scene gets a bit of it.
For Western animated TV, this is like kind of the first like this to have this much of it. Like the Steven movie was a movie though, so I can't count that. But that had like a really well animated fight. I haven't watched. To be fair,
this is about as long. This is like as long as the Steven movie, if not longer.
Yeah, it's like I just feel like this is just like an interestingly like unprecedented amount of super quality animation for like a kids TV show, like just kids drama sort of TV show. Like maybe stuff, like Gendy Tarkovsky's stuff, recent stuff that I haven't watched, like gets this degree of animation sometimes, but like that's adult animation.
Let's all get Owl House tattoos.
Disney have always pumped up the pedals for like their shows. Like Disney always have a bar whereby a show will start off with really good animation, second season looks worse. Owl House is weird because the second season got more attention animation-wise than the first one, and the third one even more so. But there's still that disparity between the normal Owl House animation and the guest studio super animation. But you can see in this episode, they really, for the first time ever, they really meshed together very well. We're constantly getting well-animated scenes that they put all stops for this. And I'm glad that Disney at least allowed this episode to look as good as it did.
Yeah. Like, just in the meta of whatever Disney's producing, like, this is their only show right now that, like, isn't... I mean, it's over now. But I think this is their only show currently that's, like, not... like Flash animated. Like they had a handful of new shows come out, like Molly McGee and Moon Girl, and like those seem very like motion tween animated. So it's like they must just have like a special attention when they have these sorts of traditional shows. Because I mean there was Star, Gravity Falls, this and Amphibia. And that's kind of it. Like, I guess kind of Phineas and Ferb, but that never goes for anything with its animation, so, like, that doesn't really count.
Phineas and Ferb is, like, I don't know, it's like SpongeBob. It's like, you can hop into any episode. It's not intending to be super special epic battles or anything like that.
You clearly don't know the Doofenshmirtz saga. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So, the next thing that happens, I guess... is Bellows is like, I'm free, thank you.
Yes, that was so good.
God.
That was so good.
And Luz just stands there. She doesn't do or say anything, and it's like...
And then the acid rain, even the acid rain callback, like, or the boiling rain, sorry.
The boiling isles literally kills him, like nothing else kills. The boiling isles gets the kill. The entire isles hates him so much that it's very rain exiles him.
Yeah, that's the Titan. That's the exact, the Titan that was just the Boiling Isles, as Lou said. You're the Boiling Isles. The exact Titan he was just trying to overtake to kill everyone. And it gets him.
Yeah, and he gets killed by the rain because that's how pathetic he is. I love how he pretends to be cured and then the rain melts away his fake skin and shows himself.
Imagine getting destroyed by rain twice in the same episode.
Oh my god!
That's embarrassing,
Twice
bro.
in like twice in 2 seconds. Because rain is just like, yes, I'm gonna kill Bellows! That was really cathartic.
I mean, that's, well, I'm always praising, like, the horror stuff that this show offers. And, like, yeah, like, they delivered once again with this finale. I mean, especially the stuff with, like, just Rain trying to escape the control. Like, that's some creepy freaking shit. That was so cool.
So good. It's so cool. Rain is so cool and was, like, trying every ounce of their strength to stop Bellows and break free.
Like, Rain's screen time in this episode probably isn't more than, like, a minute or two. But they really do the most with it.
Yeah.
You know what would have made this episode better is if, when they were about to kill a Titan, Kikimora showed up and stopped them, and then said, I'm the Titan now.
Oh, you know who didn't show up at all in this episode? Like, wasn't even referenced in this episode? Kikimora.
Yes, she was.
She was in the montage at the end.
Yeah.
She was?
Yeah. She was like...
I just saw, like, Terra Snapdragon staring at the throne, and I was like, where's Kikimora?
She was like...
She should also be doing
Wasn't
this.
she, like, doing, like, hard labor in the
Yes. She was, like, building something. And it looked like she was taking orders from Bartholomew, so like the lowest of the low.
I remember. Do you think anyone's disappointed in the lack of Amity screen time in the finale?
Yes. We've actually been talking about that all weekend. Like, Amity is barely in this episode, and so is Hunter, weirdly. Like, it really recontextualizes the previous couple of episodes, but Amity barely was in any of those either!
It's, like, weird, because I actually love both of those characters. I personally was very happy, just because I guess it was such a satisfying ending, but, like, I was happy to just get back to the trio, the main three, and having the others be supporting cast, and also seeing the satisfying endings for the characters I love. Like, it's like, it would have been nice to see them more, but it's like, they didn't need to be there.
I feel like that second episode of the season was really, like, nothing. But, I mean, it gave Willow stuff, but it's like, we don't personally care much about that, but, like, you know.
We can now understand that the second episode of the season focused on Hunter's resolution with Flapjack. Oh, I need to tell you something. If you pay careful attention to the image that I've sent, every character in the squad in like Los's squad has a Flapjack tattoo.
Oh my god.
Sad.
Every one of them, not just Hunter.
I'm gonna look. I don't see any. Oh, in the squad. Wait. Where?
Yeah, so Luz, Gus, Willow, Hunter, and Amity all have tattoos of Flapjack. You can't see it on most of them right now because they're on their arms, but they all have them. Amity has one on her elbow where you can barely see the skin. Willow, you can see Willow's on her shoulder.
Yeah,
and Gus has it on the back of his arm.
I didn't really think of it, but I guess that could have just been one added, like, cherry on top, was having Hunter be involved in, like, Bellis's defeat. But they've kind of swapped Hunter to be, like, he's just with Willow now. Like, he's more about protecting the school and stuff, I guess. Like, they kind of swapped what his intention or goal is. So, like, it still kind of works out, but now thinking in retrospect, like, with how his character arc starts, it would have been cool if he was involved in beating the shit out of Bellos.
Hunter is a Blue Jay now?
He does, and it's implied, Dana Terrace implied that it's called Waffles.
Okay, I'm just gonna talk about this because I've been just trying so hard to not because at the end, but I have to.
Go ahead.
School of Wild Magic fucking destroyed me, and having Ida be the principal. Oh my god.
Yes, Ida's design there is so good,
and also just
she's great.
Her in the beginning, hating school and everything that had to do with that, and being able to just teach this passion she had and be the head of it, and also Gus and all their old designs. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I love seeing all them as young adults.
She was an absolute menace, and yet she was Hexside star people. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
She was Principal Bump's little menace.
This sort of epilogue has been present in some animes that my sister and I had watched recently, so we had been talking about how much we love when that's done. So the fact that this was just done in a Western cartoon is really throwing me off. I was like, I can't believe that that's the direction they took for the ending. That's so fucking awesome to see. I would have not have expected that. If anything, I would have expected a little bit of it. Like when Lou started narrating at the end, I sort of felt like her tone of voice was different, so I was like, oh, it's gonna transition to her with her as an adult or something, and then it does. But when it does, and then it does for 10 minutes, which surprised me. I was expecting just a shot of her becoming an author or something and writing about the Boiling Isles or something really simple like that.
Dude,
because okay, it would spoil it for Chan too. Never mind.
What?
Never mind.
I finished the Owl House.
No. I think I was going to mention how some other show might do this same thing, sort of, but I didn't watch it, but I saw it spoiled, but I wouldn't want Chan to have
really
it
fast before we move on.
What show are you talking about?
That's okay, I'll be...
With does Amphibia do something like this?
I don't care.
Amphibia's ending.
You don't have to go into too much detail because I'm going to watch it, but I just swear I heard somebody say there's a time skip thing. Is there a time skip thing? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's all I need.
Oh, I wanted to fucking... I'm sorry that I can't talk about Amphibia because I wanted to talk about Amphibia in this video, but forget it. I'll talk about Steven Universe instead.
I plan to find some sort of excuse to make myself watch Amphibia, so I
before we move on from the School of Wild Magic, I just want to say there's a thing Demon Realm Human Realm exchange program, with Gus being the teacher about Human Realm stuff, which I love for him. But also this is the logo of the whole like school, is like half Earth, half Titan skull, and like V had a shirt with that on it too. But like, does that mean, are there humans coming into the Boiling Isles other than Luz?
You know, I feel like it was kind of implied at the end, like when they were like, "Welcome to whatever."
Because there aren't any in this picture.
I know. I checked their ears. I was like, it'd be perfect to just have one of them have normal ears, because that would answer all these questions. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the Boiling Isles is still secret. But the people of the Boiling Isles are able to move into the human world, but the Boiling Isles is still secret because the entrance to it is just the door to the old shack.
Exactly.
Do you think they're still boiling, or they're like the lukewarm Isles now?
They're still boiling, they just killed Belos, remember?
Yes, true. Oh, I have to mention this before I forget. They got me with their little trick. I was terrified for a second when they flash forwarded to Luz, and it was like college pictures. I was like, I swear to fucking... And then she was like, I'm so excited to see them. It's been so long. I was like, oh, what happened? And she was like, it's been a week. I was like, oh, thank God.
They really peeled my leg with that one. I thought it was going to be similar to other animated shows where there's the magic disappears, like in Star, or there's a time skip and she hasn't seen her friends in ages, like other show, and like, they got me good. It's like they played around with that idea and said, nah, they were friends the entire time. Luz still studies magic.
I didn't recognize V. That's her name, right? That's her.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize them at first, and I was like, "Wait, did Luz get a new girlfriend? Wait, hold on." I thought they were like, "Yeah, I moved on from the Boiling Isles. I'll never forget what it did." And I'm like, "No." I'm so glad that's not what happened.
That's so good. That's like her adopted
I know.
gremlin sister.
I will say, the moment that like made me worry about how this ending was going to go was when Luz was realizing that the like Titan magic doesn't work anymore, and I was thinking, wait though, do they have a door back to the human realm? Cause
yeah, I thought that.
Luz and her mom were both here, and it's like, okay, I guess that could be an ending if they just stay here. But what about V? They would have left V behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only thing that meant that they were definitely going to go back to the human realm. V's presence on the other side, because otherwise it could have been like home free. Yeah, we're staying in the Boiling Isles forever. But the thing is, that might also be the only reason they want to go back, because V really likes being a human.
It is so interesting how little they talked about. What's her name? Evelyn? Like the.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Evelyn.
Yeah.
I
Evelyn,
wonder,
the one who Caleb dated.
I wonder, like, I don't know how often creators do this, because I guess I don't follow much this closely, but, like, I wonder if Dana will ever be like, here's, like, the stuff that didn't make it in the show and some background
There are
information.
enough unanswered questions. I kind of wonder if they're, if they would make, like, a comic or something to continue the story just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
But also, it's fine. It's fine to just leave it how it is. Which
is great to say. I'm just, like, so many finales, I'm like, I am unsatisfied. Like, ugh.
I need to address something that I mentioned in the I aggressively stated in the previous podcast. So, my theory was that because the previous episode was so weird and lacking, like, it's not a good episode, because that episode is so weird and lacking, that this one would be absolutely crammed and tried to solve everything and failed to do so, because it had so much it needed to do if it was going to answer all the questions. But it didn't even try. It was like, we don't need to do that, and I'm impressed. I'm absolutely impressed with this finale. It's one of the best TV finales I've seen. It blew my expectations out of the water, and, like, the ending shot reminds me of the ending of Dragon Ball Z. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take your word for that one, but the other stuff made sense.
Okay, so, like, the ending shot looks just like a shot from the ending of Dragon Ball Z, of all the characters waving at the screen after a 10-year time skip and saying goodbye.
Even fucking Adventure Time, the last frame of Finn and Jake is them, like, saying hi to Finn's mom, but they're pointed to the camera waving. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the whole thing with Owl House, too, that the name of all the episodes here starts with, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching the show.
They just need to do an Owl House Adventure Time crossover. Finn can
Okay,
just be
one
like...
thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Chen, you go ahead.
Well, my thing was not gonna... Okay, I was just gonna say, Finn was just gonna be like, wow, the Boiling Isles are tops Blueby. That's it. Your turn.
I just wanted to say, my one specific request that I had that I mentioned in the last podcast that I totally expected to happen, at least a little bit, did not happen at all. And that was for Ida and Luz's mom. What's her name? I forget.
Camila?
Anyway, I wanted them to
Camila.
talk. Camila. I wanted Ida and Camila to have a conversation, you know? And they didn't speak to each other in this episode. But they did have that moment in the montage at the end, and it was nice, and it made me feel good. Even though it wasn't what I asked for.
If you can please click the link that I sent that has the prom photo on it, you can see a collection of images, and there's a shot of Ida sharing a bottle of apple blood with Camila,
yes.
or like it looks like Camila was sharing wine, but it's got like straws in it, and Ida's like, here's some apple blood.
It's a green apple blood. It's gotta be something different.
Yeah, there's like they're drinking wine together. It's hilarious. I love how she permanently has the LGBT pin on her dress now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then I'm looking at these photos now. There's a baseball episode photo.
The baseball episode that never happened.
Yeah.
Is Ida wearing Rain's earring?
That'd be great.
Yes, Ida's wearing Rain's earring, and Rain is wearing Ida's earring, just like in She-Ra.
Oh my god! Okay, I'm just on this blog now, looking at Owl House thing. I forgot about the "now eat this sucker" line. I'm so happy that.
Yeah.
Eat this sucker.
Yeah, that's so perfect.
Oh man.
Love Bazooka. Great idea, Finn.
Suddenly I'm standing up. I don't know what happened, but here we are.
It's hype. I don't know. We got energy.
You blacked out and found yourself standing and crying.
Okay, so also Hunter and Willow, clearly a thing that's happening here, like in the background.
I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm not emotionally invested, but I'm happy for them.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's very sweet that it's happening and that other characters have things going on between them, which is nice. It's not really amazing, but it's nice. It's a nice background detail. To show
I really like that it's clearly something, but they don't put any point on it. Like, because in any, like in Adventure Time for so long, but this is what Bubbling was. You just had to look at it and think about it in order to understand, right? I like that the straight romance in this show is the one that is not center stage.
Honestly, like, the voice actor for Hunter said that Willow and Hunter could have, like, kids and get married, and Hunter would still think they're just friends.
True. I think their personalities do complement. I think it's a very sweet relationship with, like, the Willow helping him through anxiety attacks and their shared trauma and all that. I think it's cute, but again.
And Hunter being a little bit protective. I mean, if we go into dissecting the relationship, my problems with Willow as a character are going to pop up.
Let's just leave it to the good feelings here. Yeah.
Yeah, let's stay with the good feelings. It's cute.
Okay, now, but what's important is, what do you think of Amity's final hair?
She looks great. I love how she showed up and she's like an adventurer. Like, she comes with a book. Is that a book from the human realm? Is that one that Luz wrote, or is that one that she found on an epic journey across the Boiling Isles?
I really like that they, like, disowned Amity's mom.
I know!
She's not even...
Where is she?
Like, her dad, Anador, has a thing with Darius.
Yeah.
And does that mean that Amity and Hunter are siblings now?
Yep.
I guess.
Because, Hunter was adopted by Darius and Wolf Girl, I guess.
Oh my god, that means that Willow is Amity's sister-in-law.
Life is crazy. Yeah, but all the final designs were, like, outstanding. I love them. They're very cute.
Okay, I'm looking at this book that Amity had. I think it's not from the human realm, because it's got, like, spikes on it.
Yeah, and we don't do spikes here.
Not
I
yet.
love how like elaborate the design is. It looks cool.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I came into this, I was excited, but I was like, my expectations were kind of low.
And she's so happy. Amity, I mean.
I was ready to enjoy myself, but I was like trying to keep my expectations in check. Like, they've got a lot to talk about, so I'm just gonna enjoy this. And I'm like, oh my god, how did they do that?
I did see Titan lose like pictures of her before, and I might have seen a time skip picture, but didn't process.
Dude, I
what
actually-
it was.
You wanna know what I found out about? I found out that Luz fucking dies.
Amazing.
Sad.
No, really?
And I was like, oh, is this going to be just like Amphibia or Star? And I was like, I'm not really... I don't really care. She's going to come back to life. It'll be fine. But then, like, they had the whole thing with the Collector, and I was like, and Ida and King, and I was like, oh, okay, that is actually emotional.
I didn't get anything spoiled, actually. It's funny, of all things I could have gotten spoiled, I think I saw a picture that's like, Willow x Hunter is canon now. I was like, okay.
Tipsy, somehow I feel like you're just in the danger zone all the time. Just like, people just send you spoilers unprompted.
Nobody did that this time because I didn't give them the chance, because I watched the episode with my girlfriend as soon as I could.
I was away at a convention, and I was... I don't check Twitter anymore. I was checking Facebook a lot, and for some reason Facebook was showing me
Dude,
some
I'm
stuff.
surprised no one at Anime Boston was like cosplaying Titan Luz the day of the episode.
I know, but there was a Luz and a Collector next to me, and they were talking, and I was
You
like,
were like,
I was
don't
that
you
meme picture.
dare! You've definitely
No,
watched it.
that the meme picture of the guy in the corner. I was like, they don't know I'm in charge of the Owl House Reaction podcast.
Oh my god.
Oh, a very famous podcast.
Oh man.
There's so many little details though, like Lilith and Amity are working together to turn Hexside into a museum, or at least part of it into a museum.
Wait, was that Hexside? Oh, I
Yes,
guess
it
that would
was.
make sense, yeah.
But they're either extending the museum into it, or they're turning the entire thing into a museum, and Hexside has moved into the Wild Magic University.
Yeah, which is in the, like, Titan Skull, I think.
And then
Yeah.
we forgot to mention Amity's dad solved the seals on people's wrists. Like, they figured out how to get
Yes,
rid of them.
Amity's Anador mad science. Anador is wearing a scientific parasite for the entire ending scene of the episode.
Yes, I'm looking at that right now. I love that. It's totally a scientific parasite, but it's also an abomination.
Cute.
It's just got a little bit of
Yeah,
abomination in
it's-
his pocket.
It's almost certainly an Adventure Time reference. I would be astounded if they had not seen a scientific parasite before and made that.
Is it in the final picture? I want to see this.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
he's got it on his little chest.
Oh, cute.
I love how Bartholomew has an actual beard now, probably.
Oh my god, Gus looks so cute. I cannot stand it. They all
Yeah.
do, but oh my
Yeah.
god.
His hair is so
I
good.
know, and his glasses. It's wild. I'm actually rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender with my friend who hasn't seen it, and
Based.
Katara is Amity's voice actress, and it's so funny. I don't know. It's just interesting to hear her. She was 17 at the time, and probably one of her first roles, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so...
I'm gonna be honest, if Amity could learn blood bending, I bet she would do it.
probably.
Yeah, Amity is weird because her story arc ended at like the beginning of season 2, so for the rest of the story she's just sort of been along for the ride, and you can really tell that in this finale. She had nothing going on, like she was the only character with nothing going on other than being there for Luz, I suppose.
It's strange, because I'm not even mad about it. I'm just happy for her. Like, I don't need her to be...
Yeah, it's like
I don't...
they never made her out to be a super fantastic character, so it's not like we feel like we're missing something really important. She had her arc, she completed it, it's fine.
And it's like, I don't need them to throw in, like, a shitty, like, forced drama between her and Luce. Like, I need some time alone. I mean, I guess, like, correct me if I'm wrong, was there an episode like that ever? Like, maybe the wrestling
No.
one, I guess, when
No.
she was acting weird?
There was like
No,
Luz,
they had-
Luz was worrying that Amity was thinking that way, but she wasn't.
Right, that's it.
Like there was.
And I'm
that.
just like, it's not, I don't know, that stuff isn't fun for me to watch. I'm just like, alright, just get over it, please.
They didn't do a roof fire.
Is that the term for it?
I'm calling it that now. They didn't do a roof
What
fire.
does that mean?
when
Steven
Ruby and
Universe
Sapphire
reference.
separated for
okay.
like a few episodes because of something else that was unrelated to them.
Got it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I just said this like a minute ago, but I love how in the whole epilogue, every time we see Amity, she's just got a big smile. Like she's just so satisfied with what her life is like now.
She was so sad.
I'm happy for her.
And now she's found purpose and she can be herself, and I cry.
Look at how her brother and sister are dressed. So her sister looks really nice. She's got some acne there, but she looks really nice. And then her brother is dressed in this wacky outfit. Her brother went into potions. Like, he was really good at potions, and now he's into it himself.
That's cute. I could just, like, stare at this
'Cause
photo and dissect it for all, like, the rest of the day, to be honest.
Yeah, the siblings were originally illusionists, but now he's gone into... Well, now he's no longer bound to be an illusionist, he's gone into potions as well.
Nick, I have one question for you. Did the
yes.
finale beat the library episode?
Interesting question.
I mean, I was thinking to rewatch that episode, but I feel like emotionally, currently, it does.
Great.
Because it just, like I was saying, like, it just delivers, like, it was just so satisfying. Like, it was such a great conclusion. It was, I mean, it's a niche thing to say, but it was really reminding me of, like, how Kirby games usually end, where they just have, like, you defeat a god in, like, the most anime way possible. Like, it really felt like that sort of thing. It was just such an exciting, satisfying watch, and the animation was so good that I think I could just watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah, I'd say, like, for Adventure Time, the finale is good, but it's far from being the best episode of Adventure Time. Like, there's a massive list of better episodes.
I've never rewatched the Adventure Time finale, but
I don't think I have either. I think I did, like, close to when it came out.
I couldn't handle it
since
then.
I've rewatched it several times. I'd say Together Again is better, but also worse in some ways. And some things are better. Islands is a better experience. Elements is a better experience altogether. But they're both twice as long as the finale. This is probably the best episode of Owl House. It takes advantage of its long run time. It doesn't feel stapled together like Adventure Time's finale did.
Yeah.
So I'd say this is the best episode of Owl House because it's the best conclusion.
Yeah, that was like the first thing that Chan said in this podcast, right? You said, like, the pacing is so good. It's true.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Like, when it was, like, there was not a point where I was like, okay, move on, like, oh my god, what are we doing? Or like, oh, is this gonna end soon? I'm scared. I was just enjoying it in the moment. Just be like, at any point this can end and I will be satisfied right now. Like,
it had a nice long ending.
Yeah, and then, like, the final
ending
epilogue,
scene.
there was, like, 3 epilogues. Because I was like, okay, I guess it's going to end here. Oh, okay, more, great.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's going to end here. Oh, more, okay. It's really nice.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we score it?
Shira's ending scene is about 15 seconds long.
Amazing. Perfect. How about Over the Garden Wall's ending scene? And so that's the ending, and everyone's satisfied with it, whatever they said. No, I'm just kidding. I love Over the Garden Wall. What do you think? Do any final thoughts, or do you want to score the episode?
I mean, I can't give it anything less than a 10. It's so...
Ooh.
If there was anything, like, critically wrong with this there was nothing critically wrong with this episode.
The one thing I asked for, they did not do, and I can't even complain about it.
Like, I don't even care about the things they didn't do. There was nothing that I was on the edge of my seat. The only thing that I thought was, like, could have been is Caleb. Like they had the scene in a previous episode of Caleb. They kind of followed up on that with Luz giving the Emperor the same stare that the Caleb ghost did. Did you notice that?
I just saw that post that you retweeted, that reblogged. I saw.
Yeah, so they followed up on that. The only thing I think they could have done that was missing is have like Hunter witness Speros' demise. That would have been nice. That would have been very nice, actually. But, like, that doesn't detract from the actual scene being really, 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 really good. Like, one of the best endings for a villain.
They could have had Hunter be the one that stomped his head in at the end.
Yeah.
Or one of the people.
Like, it would have been good to have more characters involved in Velus's defeat, but it also is good that there wasn't too. Like it could have ended up being a little bloated if like Amity and Hunter got involved in beating him up and stuff too. So like it works either way.
Also, Rain
They
was
made it
one of them,
work so
and like
well.
they deserve it more than anyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a critically good film, and it's a creatively good cartoon episode. There's nothing more. There's really nothing more they could have done to make me like it more within the time frame that they had, because they made it everything have like plenty of all of the space that it needed to be really good, and I can't ask them to remove that space to add more scenes.
So you give it an 8?
No, I'm
Okay, perfect. I'm obviously a 10 also. Like, highest 10 I've ever... 10.1.
Ooh,
10.1.
I'll do it. I'll write it.
Yeah, we'll give the episode 10.1. I agree there.
Same, matched.
I mean, it was fantastic. And I adored the show, and I had a lot of fun with you guys.
Yeah. I would also do a 10. In retrospect, talking about like maybe Hunter could have been more involved, stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, okay, that could have added to it. But I only thought of that afterwards. My only immediate thought watching again was like the first maybe 6 or 7 minutes, like the writing was really blatant and weird. But then it turned into an action movie, and I was like, never mind. All right, this is badass as hell.
I think you were correct when you said it could have added to it, but it also could have detracted from it, because like then it's like you have to split the emotional weight of these things happening between
really
too many personalities.
I really don't see that as a negative.
Yeah.
I was talking about like in depth with Kimberly yesterday about Steven Universe and why I lost investment in that show in the end, and it's because it had too much emotional heavy lifting. Like it asked too much from the viewer to be invested in stuff over and over, small things. This show doesn't do that. It focuses on the big issues, and I suppose if we resolved every single small conflict, then it would be incredibly bloody corny and distracting from the heavy hitting stuff.
You know something else that's a huge win for this episode? The pacing of the whole final season and how they separated the episodes by like a long time, kind of. It really did kill my hype that I was feeling about this show between the episodes. And like the middle one, it came out and no one was talking about it.
Yeah.
Nobody liked the middle one.
Like, I didn't see that episode for a few, like, maybe a week or something. Maybe not that long. But a few days after it came out, and I saw no one talking about it.
The only people who will remember the middle episode after today are Huntlow fans. Those are the only people who will talk about
This one brought it all back so easily.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, this is what this show is. It's good.
Just from immediate memory right now, if I had to do, like, top 3 episodes, it would be this, the library, and then the season 3 episode 1.
Yeah, so season 3 episode 1, season 3 episode 3, and the library, and either the library or the mountain.
I still love Agony of a Witch.
That
was a good one, but
Agony of a Witch was really, really, really good. It's only failed by how the episode after was.
Even
kind of
like
weak.
when Luce was on that bridge on this episode, I was having flashbacks.
Yeah.
It was like the same lighting.
They referenced it. They referenced Lilith and Amity being enemies in the first season. Like, the collector's like, oh, how did you get Lilith and Amity to forcefully join you? And then they're like, nobody, these didn't force anyone to do anything. They just chose to do that. So there was a reference to that.
I'm trying very hard to think of a haiku. I just want to do one more, you know?
Yeah.
So let's make a haiku. Here we go. I guess it's over. Okay, good. That was 5. That was close. I had a wonderful time. I loaf all you guys.
I love you too, Shan.
Thanks
for watching.
Watching.